Hey guys, TrainDC here, coming at you with another video. Prior to Pokemon Winds and Waves getting announced on Pokemon Day, we were taking a look at every single region and what we could see in a Legends games taking place within those regions. So far, we've done Kanto, we've done Alola, we've done Galar, and we've done Johto. And today in this video, I want to take a look at the Paldea region. What could we see from a Pokemon Legends game taking place within the Paldea region, the most recent generation in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? I think a Pokemon Legends Paldea could be a really interesting Pokemon Legends game for a few reasons. Number one, if you just look at the Legends games we've gotten so far, we have Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is taking place in the past, and we have Pokemon Legends ZA, which is serving as a sequel to X and Y, taking place 5 years after those games took place. Pokemon Legends Paldea could be really interesting because I think we could dive down an avenue that no other Pokemon game has ever gone down before, and that is that the game takes place during two different time periods. Obviously, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet have time travel written all throughout the games. We have the whole paradox Pokemon situation, the fact that Pokemon Scarlet is a game that focuses on Pokemon from the past, and Pokemon Violet's a game that focuses on Pokemon from the future, and I think that in a Pokemon Legends Paldea game, they could explore that even further. There was a lot of speculation during these Scarlet and Violet days as to what exactly paradox Pokemon were. Some people thought that they were straight up from the past and straight up from the future, but that could never have been the case because we know that Entei, Raikou, and Suicune didn't look like that back in the day. We know that these were three regular Pokemon that died in a fire that Ho resurrected to become the Entei, Raikou, and Suicune that we all know and love. So something was always off here, and the fact as well that these paradox Pokemon from the future were all robots always seemed weird to me. Like, why are they all robots? That's the one thing I will say. I haven't commented on this publicly, I don't think, is that with the paradox Pokemon when it was first leaked, I loved the idea. I was like, oh, this is so cool, Pokemon from the past and future, but I don't love that the combination of Gardevoir and Gallade is a robot. I don't love that all of the paradox future Pokemon are robots, but that's neither here nor there. But nevertheless, this is something that was being heavily speculated upon during Scarlet and Violet's time because we didn't get the answer as to what these Pokemon were. Were they imagination Pokemon that were created by Terrapagos? Were they Pokemon from the past and future or something else entirely? And the answer to that came in the Scarlet and Violet DLC when you talk to the professor in Kitakami and they tell you that these Pokemon were from an alternate timeline, from the past and future respectively of an alternate timeline. So I think a Pokemon Legends Paldea would be absolutely sick if we got to explore those timelines. Maybe the game starts out in the past and you get to play through this past, prehistoric Paldea region that takes place in an alternate timeline. But then throughout the events of the game, we get to travel to the future. Or maybe, just maybe, we start out in the present day Paldea working at a research lab and they have this time machine that's able to now transport us to this alternate past and this alternate future, and we get to fully explore what the Paldea region would be like in these different timelines. Obviously, a game like this would introduce a plethora of new paradox Pokemon. We'd get more Pokemon from the past, we'd get more Pokemon from the future, but the thing I'm very curious about to see how they would handle it is, if we were to explore past Paldea and future Paldea from an alternate timeline, what would happen to the regular Pokemon in these timelines? Would we see Pokemon like Cyclozar running around in the past and future respectively, or would these Pokemon all be extinct and would we only find paradox Pokemon in the past and future? I think this would be a really cool avenue to go down for a Legends Paldea game, and I think that what they could do as well is we could see a plethora of regional variants introduced in these games. We could have a path that you go to the past, right? And you have the Paldean starters with these regional forms that are completely different from the evolutions we have now. We could go to the future, and in the future we have a completely different set of evolutions from the Paldean final evolutions that we have now. So in turn, what that then could do is the Paldea starters could have 3 sets of evolutions, one for the past, one for the present, and one for the future. That would be so cool to see because something we never got to see as well with Paradox Pokemon is evolution. Paradox Pokemon are all single stage Pokemon, so it'd be cool that maybe these Paradox Pokemon, when we get to go to that timeline, are actually regular Pokemon lines. You have your base starter, you have your mid stage, and then your brand new past final evolutions and your brand new future final evolutions. Another avenue they could go down as well with the starter Pokemon is maybe if they want to stick to the every Legends game has a different subset of starters that aren't found in that region natively, maybe we get one set of starters when we go to the past, we get another set of starters when we go to the future, and we see paradox forms of those Pokemon introduced. I think the possibilities are endless here, and I think as well it could answer more questions about paradox Pokemon inherently, because paradox Pokemon are a really cool cool concept within the Pokemon franchise as a way to highlight these older Pokemon with past and future forms respectively, but it really wasn't dived into too heavily lore-wise in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Like in the base game, we were all speculating on what these Pokemon actually are. Are they really from the past? Are they really from the future? Are they imagination Pokemon created by Terrapagos? What are these exactly? What is this time machine? And what were the two professors researching? Like, this all doesn't add up. What's going on here? And obviously the answer to that question came in the DLC in that secret cutscene that they are Pokemon from an alternate timeline in the past and future respectively. Well, why not explore those alternate timelines in a Pokemon Legends game? I think this would be an extremely ambitious title for Game Freak and the Pokemon Company to make, but I think it would be a rewarding game to play and really something unique that we've never seen before in this franchise. Like, there are plenty of games out there that take place in the past, then you time travel to the future. You know, there are plenty of games that do that, but we've never seen something like that before in Pokemon. Pokemon is a franchise as well that really has lately liked to dive into the whole aspect of time travel. Like, this is something as a concept that was introduced back in Generation 2 with Celebi and the original Gold and Silver, and it's something that we've seen them touch on with, you know, space and time with Dialga and Palkia in Generation 4. We've seen them touch on the whole alternate dimension thing with Pokemon Sun and Moon. We've seen them touch on the idea of there being alternate timelines with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire being in a different timeline from Ruby and Sapphire. We've seen the whole past and future thing explored once again in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and heck, in the original Legends Arceus, the first Legends game we ever got, we straight up come from the present and get taken into the past by Arceus. So time travel is something that this franchise has already had its fingers on, but we've never explored it in game before, traveling back and forth between the past, present, and future. And I think Pokemon Legends Paldea would be the perfect game to explore that, given the themes of Paldea, given the themes of Scarlet and Violet are the past and future. Anyways, let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. What do you guys think about my idea for Pokemon Legends Paldea, a Pokemon game that takes place in the past, present, and future, and we get to travel between these different timelines to discover the true nature of Paradox Pokemon and discover brand new Paradox Pokemon? Do you like my idea and think it'd be a really fun way to explore the Paldea region from a new angle? Or do you think it's too ambitious and that Game Freak wouldn't be able to pull off such a feat? If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from Trainer DC. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.